you needed to do some engineering, so you created your own diaper changing table company, and you take it to the point that you have like manufacturing set up. You're doing press tours. You're on the Today Show. Yeah. You mentioned the kids. So, okay, you have a kid and then you take a career break and then again, this is where I geek out. I guess you needed to do some engineering, so you created your own diaper changing table company, and you take it to the point that you have like manufacturing set up. You're doing press tours. You're on the Today Show. Okay, how did that even become a thing? And why'd you do this while you were while you were on your maternity leave?
Yeah, it's hard to really pinpoint the evolution of it, but what does stick out in my mind was my second son was an extremely active toddler.
Yeah.
And it was really like even more so than my first son, he was just a wiggly guy, never wanting to stand still. And yeah, changing his diaper was really, it was just challenging because he just didn't, I couldn't even get him on his back for a second to get that diaper on. So you mentioned you have kids. Do you have?
Yeah, I have a 16-month-old, and yeah, we're at the stage
Ah,
of diaper changes being a slight challenge. We've had to move to the cruisers where we can just shove them on each one of her legs and then pull them up because there's no stability to do the pull it over. Yeah.
yes, understood, understood. Yeah, so I was just talking to my husband and I said, "Oh my gosh, I need a diaper that's already laid out, like
Yeah.
already ready for him to change." And um and then when I'm done changing him, I want it automatically ready for the next one. So I did kind of described it to my husband and he was just like, "Well, why don't you just build one?" And so, yeah, so my first prototype, and I should show you a picture, but my first prototype was like literally cardboard. I cut it out of cardboard and I had this dispenser that stored all the fresh diapers underneath and it was spring loaded so that, and I had Velcro on the top. So you could just have that diaper just laying out flat and I could change his diaper in just like seconds. And so just that
Efficiency.
cardboard prototype I used for like a long time. And I'm like, Henry, this is so like, I love using this cardboard changing table. And he's like, well, why don't you just see if you could take it a step further and just, make it out of like, find out what you want to make it out of. So in my head, I just thought of bent wood, some nice fabrics, and we found a manufacturer that could build it. And I had a lot of CAD skills at that time and I knew how to do drawings. And so all of those skills that I developed on the space station and at Motorola came in handy. So I was able to whip up some drawings really quick, find a supplier, and yeah, I had them built. And so then, yeah, I just found some trade shows and then I took my first like 12 prototypes to LA and there was a baby trade show and there seemed to be enough interest at that, and so I just started taking orders for it and I got into some of those bougie like baby stores in LA, and so it just kind of took off from there.
That's so cool. And then, I mean, you did it for a long time. When did that sunset?
Yeah, so it probably, yeah, so I did it for about 3 years.
Yeah.
um and and it kind of sunsetted when my son was potty trained and then when I went back to work.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider it enough that I could like make a career out of it. I see it as just like a side business that's kind of like a hobby, like
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, like what people do on Etsy today, right? Or no, well,
Yeah.
people probably make really great livings off of Etsy, but just this was at a relatively small scale. So yeah, when Nikki went back to school, I just decided to kind of just sell my last table, and then I just transitioned back into more traditional engineering role.
Yeah.
always made a pilot, then they threw me on the stations. Now I'm not complaining, now I'm not complaining. My thoughts get complicated, I cannot explain in lameness. Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.